A chilling murder, a forgotten victim. Who was she, and what led to her tragic end? This is the haunting story of a crime lost to time, where the echoes of a life snuffed out still linger in the shadows. In the late hours of a fateful night in 1987, a young woman vanished without a trace. Her name was Emily Rogers, a vibrant soul known for her kindness. Yet her fate would soon take a macabre turn. Emily's small town was known for its quiet streets and close-knit community, but darkness lurked beneath the surface, and on that night, it would reveal its true face. As family and friends began to worry, the search for Emily intensified. Hopes dwindled, but the determination to find her grew stronger. No, one could imagine the horror that awaited. Days turned into weeks, and just when the community thought they had lost all hope, a gruesome discovery was made. A body found in the woods that would shatter the fragile peace of the town. The identity of the victim sent shockwaves through the community. It was Emily Rogers, and the details of her death were horrific. This was not just a murder, it was a heinous act of violence that would haunt many. Investigators were met with a wall of silence. The tight-knit community was paralyzed by fear, and suspicions began to rise. Who could commit such a brutal crime? As the investigation progressed, unsettling revelations emerged. Emily had confided in close friends about feeling watched, leading many to wonder whether someone they knew had turned against her. Amidst whispers and speculation, the town turned to its own. Was there a predator among them? The growing paranoia overshadowed daily life, and the search for Emily's killer became a desperate race against time. The police were determined to solve the case. They interviewed anyone who might have seen or heard something the night Emily disappeared, but leads were scarce and hope was fading. Then, the breakthrough came. A witness came forward recalling a disturbing encounter near the site where Emily's body was found. Could this be the lead they were hoping for? With renewed vigor, investigators tracked down a suspect, a local man with a troubling past. Was he Emily's killer? The evidence was mounting against him, but would it be enough to secure a conviction? As the case headed to trial, the community held its breath. The courtroom was filled with tension and emotion as the details of Emily's last moments were laid bare for all to see. The trial revealed a tragic truth: a life cut short, a future stolen. But as the jury deliberated, doubts began to arise. Was justice truly being served? In a shocking turn, the jury delivered a verdict that left everyone stunned. Acquitted of all charges, the suspect walked free, leaving Emily's family devastated and the community in uproar. Emily Rogers became a name whispered in shadows, a ghost of a past that haunts a community. Her story serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of seeking justice for the forgotten. Though her case remains unsolved, Emily's story lives on, urging us to remember those lost to violence. In their memory, we must continue to seek justice and hold those accountable for their actions. In the days following Emily's disappearance, the community was thrust into a whirlwind of panic and uncertainty. Rumors began to swirl, with many speculating about her last known whereabouts and the events leading up to her vanishing. As whispers filled the air, the police launched an extensive search, canvassing the streets in hopes of uncovering any trace of her. Investigators interviewed friends, family, and acquaintances, piecing together Emily's last moments. Each conversation revealed a fragment of her life, illuminating a young woman full of dreams, yet burdened by hidden struggles. Despite the hope that one tip might lead to her whereabouts, the leads grew colder with each passing day. As days turned into weeks, the community organized search parties, desperate to find any sign of Emily. Flyers with her smiling face lined the streets, a poignant reminder of the girl who once brought joy to many. But as hope began to fade, the reality of her possible fate weighed heavily on the hearts of those searching for answers. Amidst the chaos, a local journalist became captivated by Emily's story. Driven by a sense of duty, she began digging deeper, uncovering layers of Emily's life that had gone unnoticed. Her investigation took her to unexpected places, revealing connections to unsolved cases in the area that sent shivers down her spine. One name kept surfacing during her research: a man who had a troubled past and was known to frequent the places Emily visited. This connection sparked a new fire for the investigation. As the journalist reached out to law enforcement, could this individual hold the key to unraveling the mystery surrounding Emily's disappearance? As police began to investigate this lead, they uncovered a disturbing pattern of behavior that raised red flags. The man had been linked to several incidents of harassment in the area. With this newfound information, investigators delved into his background, hoping it would lead them closer to Emily's whereabouts. The search for Emily intensified, and with it, the tension within the community grew. People who had once felt safe now found themselves locking their doors at night. As media coverage increased, starking debates about safety and the need for change in the local law enforcement practices. As the investigation unfolded, a chilling breakthrough occurred. An anonymous tip came in, leading authorities to an abandoned building outside of town. The tipster claimed to have seen something that could be pivotal in the case. With cautious optimism, investigators rushed to the scene, hopeful that they were finally on the right track. Inside the derelict structure, investigators discovered unsettling evidence: personal belongings believed to belong to Emily scattered throughout the debris. This shocking discovery reignited hope amongst her family and friends, but it also raised more questions than answers about her fate. The evidence collected was sent for forensic analysis, leading investigators to believe they were inching closer to the truth. Days turned into a tense waiting game as the community held its breath, praying for answers that could bring closure to Emily's story. But the results, when they came, would leave everyone reeling. When the forensic results finally arrived, they confirmed the presence of Emily's DNA on a piece of clothing found at the site. This revelation was both heartbreaking and revealing. It painted a grim picture of what may have happened to her and thrust the investigation into a new, darker phase. Armed with this new evidence, law enforcement focused their investigation on the man previously linked to Emily. The urgency increased as they sought to question him, hoping to uncover the truth behind her tragic fate. But when they attempted to locate him, they discovered he had vanished without a trace. This sudden disappearance sparked panic among investigators and a renewed sense of urgency. They launched an extensive manhunt utilizing every available resource to track him down. Meanwhile, the community's fear transformed into outrage, demanding justice for Emily and accountability for those who evade the law. As the manhunt continued, a chilling connection to another unsolved case emerged, revealing a disturbing pattern of behavior. It appeared that the man had been linked to multiple instances of violence against women in the area, raising alarm bells among law enforcement and the community at large. In response to the growing concerns, local activists rallied together, demanding changes from local law enforcement. They called for better protective measures for women and more resources dedicated to solving unsolved cases. The community's voice became a powerful force, igniting discussions that had long been ignored. Despite the search's intensity, the man remained elusive. As weeks turned into months, Emily's case began to fade from the headlines, but not from the hearts of those who loved her. Her family continued to advocate for attention to her story, reminding the world that forgotten victims deserve to be remembered. In a surprising turn, an unexpected witness came forward, claiming to have seen the man on the night of Emily's disappearance. This new testimony injected fresh hope into the investigation and reignited interest in her case. Investigators raced to verify the witness's account, eager to piece together the night's events. The witness's account painted a harrowing picture of that fateful night. They detailed the confrontation between Emily and the man, intensifying the investigation and leading to a re-examination of all evidence collected thus far. Each detail provided by the witness could be crucial in solving the mystery. With renewed vigor, police began to explore every lead connected to the witness's account. They combed through surveillance footage from nearby establishments, revealing a startling sight: Emily's last known movements captured on camera, sending chills down the spines of those involved in the case. The footage provided a clearer timeline of Emily's night, illuminating the moments before her disappearance. Investigators meticulously analyzed each frame, hoping to catch a glimpse of the man who had haunted their investigation. This breakthrough offered the possibility of finding someone who might finally lead them to the truth. As the investigation deepened, the community found solace in memorials dedicated to Emily. Vigils and gatherings became a testament to the love and support surrounding her family. Each candle lit was a flicker of hope, a reminder that Emily was not forgotten and that her story mattered. With the investigation still ongoing, law enforcement was determined to solve the case. They established a dedicated task force, pooling resources and expertise to navigate the complexities of Emily's disappearance. The community rallied behind them, offering any assistance they could to ensure justice would be served. As more information emerged, it became evident that Emily's case was part of a larger narrative of violence against women. Her story interconnected with others, revealing a troubling pattern that needed addressing. This realization sparked a movement, empowering voices that had long been silenced. Through the media's lens, Emily's story became a catalyst for change. Discussions surrounding safety, accountability, and systemic failures took center stage. The community's response ignited a fire within advocates who demanded justice not just for Emily, but for all forgotten victims. As the years passed, Emily's case remained open, and her family refused to give up hope. They continued to push for updates, engaging with cold case units and forensic teams to keep her story alive. Each anniversary of her disappearance brought renewed energy to their efforts, serving as a reminder of the fight for justice. Just when it seemed the case might go cold, a breakthrough emerged, a new forensic technique that had been developed. This technology promised to analyze old evidence in ways previously thought impossible. With this glimmer of hope, investigators prepared to revisit the evidence in Emily's case. As investigators delved into the re-examination of evidence, they discovered critical DNA links that had been overlooked in earlier analyses. This discovery reignited interest in the case, as it opened fresh avenues for investigation. The possibility of a renewed pursuit for justice sparked hope within the community once more. The findings led law enforcement to re-examine the man who had long evaded justice. With new evidence in hand, authorities sought to bring him to justice, leading to a renewed determination within the community. Faces, once filled with despair, now carried a flicker of hope that justice for Emily was within reach. As tensions escalated, the stories surrounding Emily's case began to attract national attention. Documentaries, podcasts, and news segments featured her story, elevating not just her plight, but the fight against systemic violence. Emily became a symbol of resilience, representing all those who fought for justice in silence. With the renewed spotlight on the case, the community came together once more. Fundraisers and events were held to support Emily's family and raise awareness about the issue of violence against women. This collective effort not only honored Emily, but also aimed to prevent future tragedies. As the investigation continued, a significant development unfolded. A new lead emerged through a social media campaign. A witness, moved by the stories shared, stepped forward with information that suggested a potential sighting of the suspect shortly after Emily's disappearance. This revelation reignited the quest for justice. This latest lead prompted law enforcement to expand their search, utilizing digital surveillance and community engagement to track down the suspect. The investigation took on a new trajectory, fueled by hope and the determination of those who refused to let Emily's story fade away into obscurity. As police raced against time, the community rallied behind them once more. Vigils were held and flyers were distributed, reminding everyone that Emily's case was far from over. The collective spirit of those who cherished her became a driving force for change, demanding justice for a life cut short. Months passed, and just when it seemed the investigation might hit another dead end, a crucial piece of evidence emerged. A former associate of the suspect came forward revealing chilling details about his behavior and possible location at the time of Emily's disappearance. This revelation shifted the investigation once again. With this information in hand, law enforcement set out to track down the suspect. The community's collective resolve energized the investigation, and as the search intensified, the hope for closure grew stronger. Emily's family remained steadfast in their fight, refusing to let her story end without justice. As the investigation closed in on the suspect, the community united in their efforts to keep Emily's memory alive. Awareness campaigns flourished, focusing not only on her case but also on broader issues of safety and violence against women. Emily's story became a rallying cry for change and accountability. Finally, after years of searching, the moment every advocate had hoped for arrived. Law enforcement located the suspect. As they took him into custody, emotions ran high within the community. This marked a significant step towards justice, but the journey to closure was still fraught with challenges ahead. As the case progressed toward trial, the community held their collective breath. Each day brought new developments, and Emily's family remained at the forefront, advocating for justice. They met with prosecutors, shared their story, and fought tirelessly to ensure Emily's story would not go unheard in the courtroom. In court, the atmosphere was charged with emotion as Emily's family faced the man accused of taking her life. Their testimonies echoed throughout the room, a powerful reminder of the impact of violence. Each word was a testament to Emily's legacy, igniting the resolve of those who fought for justice. As the trial unfolded, shocking revelations came to light, further complicating the narrative. The defense presented arguments that sought to undermine the prosecution's case, casting doubt on the evidence. But the strength of Emily's story remained resilient, rallying support from the community and advocates everywhere. During the trial, a pivotal moment occurred. A surprise witness emerged, someone who had been hesitant to come forward previously. Their testimony provided crucial insight into the events surrounding Emily's disappearance, reaffirming the community's resolve to see justice served. This was a moment that could change everything. As the trial progressed, the jury was tasked with the difficult responsibility of weighing the evidence presented. Tension filled the courtroom, and the community anxiously awaited the verdict. Emily's family held on to hope, believing justice was finally within reach, while advocates rallied outside for a fair outcome. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The jury's verdict. As the foreman stood to deliver the decision, the weight of the past came crashing down. Would justice finally be served for Emily? The community held their breath, united in their hope that her story would end with accountability. The jury delivered their verdict, and the courtroom erupted with emotion. For Emily's family, it was a moment of vindication, while for the community, it marked a turning point in their fight against violence. As they reflected on the journey ahead, they vowed to continue advocating for justice, ensuring that Emily's story would never be forgotten. With the verdict delivered, emotions ran high. Emily's family embraced each other, tears of relief mingling with the weight of their loss. They had fought tirelessly for justice, and it felt as if a heavy burden had finally been lifted from their shoulders. In the weeks that followed, Emily's family began to transform their grief into action. They started a foundation in her name, dedicated to raising awareness about domestic violence. Their goal was to educate others, ensuring no one else would suffer the same fate. As word spread about the foundation, support poured in from all corners of the community. Fundraisers were organized, and local businesses showed their solidarity. Emily's story was no longer just a tragedy. It became a catalyst for change. Amidst this new path, Emily's family organized a memorial event to honor her. The park was filled with friends, family, and strangers, all gathered to remember a life cut short. Candles flickered as stories were shared, each one a testament to Emily's enduring spirit. The memorial became an annual event, drawing more attendees each year. Emily's family used this opportunity to educate attendees on recognizing signs of domestic violence. They wanted to empower survivors, offering hope and resources. Meanwhile, The community began to see changes as well. Local law enforcement ramped up their efforts to address domestic violence. Workshops were held, and officers were trained to handle such cases with sensitivity and urgency. As time passed, Emily's family faced challenges too. Grief never fully dissipated, and anniversaries brought waves of sorrow. Yet they found strength in their mission, knowing that each effort contributed to Emily's legacy of hope. They also connected with other families affected by similar tragedies. Sharing their experiences helped to forge a network of support, reminding everyone that they were not alone in their fight for justice and healing. As the foundation gained traction, it caught the attention of state legislators. They approached Emily's family to discuss potential new laws aimed at protecting victims of domestic violence. This was a moment they had long dreamed of. The legislative process was slow and often frustrating, but the family remained persistent. They organized rallies, gathered petitions, and shared Emily's story far and wide. Each step was a testament to their unwavering commitment to justice. Eventually, their efforts paid off. New laws were passed that provided greater protection for victims and stricter penalties for offenders. Emily's family felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing their tragedy had sparked substantial change. But the fight was far from over. Despite their success, many victims still felt trapped and voiceless. The family recognized that their work needed to continue, reaching out to those still suffering in silence. Through educational programs and community outreach, they aimed to break the stigma surrounding domestic violence. They wanted to create an environment where victims felt safe to speak out and seek help. As years passed, Emily's family learned to live with their grief. They celebrated her birthday each year, reflecting on her life and the love she brought into the world. This was a time to honor her memory, not just mourn. The foundation continued to grow, now becoming a beacon of hope for many who felt lost. Emily's story had evolved from personal tragedy into a powerful movement for change, inspiring countless individuals to join the fight. As they look to the future, Emily's family remains committed to their mission. They understand that true healing takes time, but they're determined to keep her memory alive through their work, ensuring her legacy endures. In reflecting on this harrowing journey, the community remembers Emily not just as a victim, but as a symbol of resilience. Her story continues to resonate, inspiring conversations and actions that make a difference. Emily's tragic story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of speaking out against violence. As we reflect on her legacy, let us honor her by continuing the fight for justice and supporting those who suffer in silence. In our quest for justice, let us not forget the forgotten victims. Together, we can create a world where every individual feels safe and protected, ensuring that stories like Emily's spark change rather than despair.